Hey guys, Chris Fayte with Cheat the Game coming back at you. We're going to be doing Dishonored 2 Part 2 today. And so far right now I'm just going to be concentrating on health. If you remember Part 1 from last time, if you have not seen it, I suggest you go watch it. I got the links in the upper right hand corner. Just hover your mouse over it and you can go watch it. You'll be caught up to speed with where we are now. Each one of these is going to just continue on from the last one. So if you remember from the last one, we got infinite breath. We also got infinite crossbow bolts, which I really believe may be an opcode that is controlling all ammunition. I just have not confirmed that yet, but we'll confirm it today. And so today we're going to be concentrating on infinite health. You remember last time we stayed underwater to get our health opcode? Well, we still can't really use it right now because we need to find a comparison that'll compare out our enemies, and we just didn't have any enemies there. So that's what we're going to be doing today, and we got to do it 2 different times because we can play as 2 different characters. One is Corvo, one is enemy. So the first time through I'm going to be playing as Corvo, and we're going to find an offset difference to see if we can separate him out from our enemies. Then I'm going to go back through the game all the way till we hit some enemies again as Emily, and we're going to see if we can find a compare for her versus enemies as well. Be great if they shared one, but we won't know that until we play as each separate one. So I'm going to go ahead and bring everything on up. We'll go ahead and get started and continue from where we left off last time. Okay, so here we are at the section where we choose which player we want to use. We're going to go ahead and choose Corvo first. Let's go ahead and do that. We're just going to see if we can fast forward through all this mess just to get to where we need to be. Alright. Well, I was going to say while it's doing that, we'll go ahead and bring up our health. You remember we saved our health opcode from the last part. So let's go ahead and bring that up in memory view. We'll click on the advanced options, double click onto this. Takes us right to that part in memory. Okay, so let's go find some enemies. We need to get our health code too. Our health address. Alright, so now we're just going to go ahead and put the debugger on it. Find out what addresses this instruction accesses. Let's make sure we could put it on float so it'll give us the proper values. Alright, let's go get everybody's health address. Alright, that's one. I shouldn't have killed him, but my bad. So now we need to fight the other guy. Let's let him hit me one good time. That would be my health address. So we're just going to freeze mine. Let's put it on up to 70 for the time being. Remember last time, if you remember from part 1, we already looked up the information, and we know that XMM7 is carrying our health cap, and we see here the XMM0 is writing to our health address. So when we do find our comparison, we're going to have our guy go to the location that writes XMM7 to this address, which is our health cap, and we're going to continue enemies just having XMM0 right to their health, which just subtracts their health normally. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this address. Remember, you always need at least 2. I recommend 3 or 4, but you know, at least 2 enemy addresses to get a better compare. Alright, so now we got him. So here's his health address. We got the dead one. So let's go ahead and bring all 3 of these up in memory view, and it will place them at their base addresses. Just put new window. Just click OK and yes on every screen. And remember, we're the middle one right here. You see the address is different because it put it at its base address, which is at the 0 offset, which is the base address of RBX is this registry here. All this information here is RBX. And I need to change my color of group different because this is a new cheat engine. So we're going to go to view settings and just click on group different, and I'm going to set mine to black. I can see it better. Just personal preference. And let's scoot these on over a little bit so we can see all these addresses. Now we know here offset 20. It's not showing the correct. We need to change that to float to give us the correct values. There we go. So offset 20 is our current health. We can label that if we want to. We know group 1 is going to be our enemies, and we're going to just throw our hero over into group 2 to separate them. And I'm not going to label them, just know group 2 is Corvo, group 1 is those two enemies. And we're going to go through and see if we can find a few group differences. I try to stay away from things like this. You can use those, but we don't know if those are constantly changing or not. What I like looking for is things like these, where enemies are all zeros, and you have zeros and ones right here. So 70 and 74 looks good. I kind of stay away from these two. I don't know if those change later. I always stay away from pointers if possible. Things like this we don't know, but you know, you can write these down. I suggest writing down several offsets. Things like this where enemies are all 0 and hero is 1, that's a good one. But for right now, we're just going to concentrate on 70 and 74. I'm going to use 70 for my starting off, so we can go ahead and start that. Let's go back up to the code, highlight the code, we're going to auto assemble, and let's do our AOB injection. And we're just going to put health 1. Oops. Alright. So we know here that code is just subtracting health normally, so if we leave everything as is and turn the code on, everybody's going to continue to lose health. So we need our guy to go to our cheat. So first let's just write our cheat. And we already decided in the last video that we want XMM7, which is our health cap, to write to our health address. So now we need to make sure that Corvo goes to this address and that enemies continue to come to here. The way we do that is by using a compare. We got to compare them out. CMP, we know that's the RBX registry, and we're going to try the 70 offset where the enemies are all 0 and Corvo is some obscure number, but we're going to use it as enemies being 0 to compare out. So at offset 70, so we put plus 70, if enemies equal 0, we need to make sure that we understand the value type. It is a 4-byte, so we can just use a 0. So if enemies are 0, we want you to jump if equal to code. That means enemies are 0, so they're going to hit that jump right here, that conditional jump, and they're going to jump the code. Corvo is not equal to 0, so he's going to continue to move down here and where the health cap will write into his health address. That's the goal anyway. So let's go ahead and turn it on. Save to or assign to the current cheat table. And go back over here. Let's label it to health test, because we still need to do Emily. Plus we need to play through the game to make sure those offsets are going to work. And also while we have it up, let's go ahead and write down those other offsets right quick. What I do is I put it like this. 74, which was 0, 1 and 0. Corvo was 1. I always put on the left, and I put the little hash mark, and then enemies are always on the right. So whatever's on the left of my hash mark I know was the hero, what's on the left was enemies, and here's the offset. I also put what value type it is, so you know, because if it's a float, you need to make sure it recognizes it as a float. And where was that other one? Let's go ahead and close that down. Close this. No, we need that still open. Okay. Where was that other 0 and 1? It was on down here, wasn't it? Or did I pass it? Let's go back up. No, it was on down here somewhere. Or it may have changed, so it may not have been a good offset. I don't. Oh, here it is, right here. 1E4. Zeros and ones, always a good thing to try. So we know that that is at 1EC. No, wait, I'm sorry. 1E4, excuse me. 1E4. So all we really have to do, since it's 1 and 0, is what I do is just put a dash 1E4. So I know at both of those offsets, it's the same thing. And 4-byte. So that way I ain't got to rewrite all that mess. So I have other offsets I can try if this one is not a stable one. So we always want to keep that in mind as well. So let's turn our health cheat on. Let's go take a hit, see what happens. And our health shot up. Now I know we got the blood graphical code, but we do have, our health is staying up. So I'm just going to let him wail on me a little bit just to make sure. I should have been dead by now. Come on, hit. Oh, he sucks. There we go, finally. And the enemy did die, and we did not. Now, we could possibly go through the code and see if maybe we can find that graphical code for the blood, but I'm just not going to do it. I don't see the point right now. We still need to go get Emily's offset, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and pause this right now, and I'm just going to go back, go through it, and choose Emily, and then we're going to go find an offset for her. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're back at the character selection. So this time we're going to choose Emily, and we're going to do the exact same thing in finding our compare for her. It's possible that Corvo and her are both the same. We just don't know that yet until we go look. Or we could possibly just turn health test on and see if she has infinite health, but I prefer doing it the longer way. But that's just the way I do things. So let's bypass all these things. Alright.
What happened? Alexei. The throner. Father. Nothing I can do alone. I need to get out of here. How many times have I looked at that skyline? It feels like everything just changed.
Where's the Royal Protector?
Alright, so let's go back to the health op code, and we're going to grab everybody's addresses again. Good on float. Alright, let's do it. Let's let him get out of the way, so we ain't got two of them attacking me at once. There we go. Alright, we got his address, which is that right there. Now we got our address, which is this. So let's put that on up to 70, and we're just going to go ahead and freeze that in place. Okay, we're missing somebody. And that should be him. So let's, yep, we got everybody's. So now let's go find a comparison for her the exact same way we just did. Open with dissect data, new window. Does she has every screen coming up? We know 20 is, I don't know why it says pointer there. I just want to see the true values to it. And we know that Emily is the middle one, so we're going to change group. Let's go take a look. First thing I like to do, look, take a look at this. 70 and 74, exact same things. I wonder if that 1E4 is the same also. Look at that, same also. So it looks like Corvo and Emily do share the same offsets as far as that goes. So we don't really have to separate or use a multi-compare for her at all. We can use the exact same structure because enemies are 0 at these offsets that we just checked, and that's all we really needed. So this should work for Emily as well. Let's just go test it and see. Yep, went back up. Hit her a few times here. let's just test it out a little more. Like I say, we're not playing the game, we're just hacking it right now. Everybody's dying, alright.
You deserve that, Ramsey.
Let's take a few more hits. Now, a headshot or a good kill shot may still kill me, I don't know, so. Alright.
This won't leave my hand again.
Alright, let's just take a look around right quick. I'm pretty sure we get another weapon soon. That's what I'm looking for, actually.
Sokolov made this lock.
Alright.
I spent so many nights in here after the rat plague. I better take these.
Alright, yeah. Right here we get the pistol and bullets. So let's go ahead and pick all these up.
I have a feeling I'll need these.
What I want to do is I want to turn on our infinite crossbow arrows test. And I want to see if this affects other ammunition as well.
The reserves won't help against Delilah, even if I had a way to carry it all out of here.
Okay, so let's go back to it. Alright, you see right now we're at 8. She's holding the gun. So we got our infinite crossbow arrow test on. So let's go ahead and take a look. So it's holding steady at 10, so we can actually use that as instead of infinite crossbow arrows, we can just change that to infinite ammo for right now. We don't know what else that may influence, so we'll need to continue to test that. So we're going to write test out, because there's possibly other things that it affects also. We just don't know yet because we haven't got that far. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to end it here for this particular part. Health takes a little bit of time to do, plus it don't really take as long as it did here, because, you know, me explaining stuff as I'm doing it. Usually you can go in there and bam bam bam, you got it. But what I was going to do is I was going to combine stealth with this also, where you can be undetected. I've already figured out how to do it. It's just a lot of work to do, and it'll just make this vid go on forever. And so I prefer just to do that in part 3. So next time we come on part 3, we're going to be doing stealth, and that's going to take a little bit of work. It's a lot harder, so we're getting into harder things as we go. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that in the tutorial section, where you do the test with Corvo, you know, to be undetected. And that's where we're going to try to at least find our camera values to where he doesn't see us at a far off distance, so we can sneak up on him better and be unnoticed. It will not affect him hearing you, and if you get too close right in his line of sight, he may still see you. I don't know how we'll go about, you know, getting that affected, but for right now all I care about is finding the camera value, and that's what I'm going to show next lesson. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Come join us over at the Cheat the Game Facebook page. We've got a lot of great game hackers that hang out there. We do have certain rules that you're not allowed in there if your account with Facebook is just 3 months old. If you're at 4 months, come join us. Also, if you're at 6 months and over 150 groups, we don't allow you in until you hit 7 months. The reason for that is we're trying to keep out spammers and those with malicious intent, and that's the best way to do it, so we apologize about that. Now, if you want in the group, and you fall within those categories, you'll have to write one of the admins directly. I'll leave a list of the names of our administrators there at the Cheat the Game Facebook page, and if you fall in one of those categories, you're going to have to contact one of them directly via PM. They are available to you. They will talk to you about it, and if you want in there, then you're going to have to ask them directly. Alright? Do not write me directly. Write one of them directly, and we'll just go from there. Alright, so what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and close this on down. We'll pick this up in part 3. We're going to be doing stealth camera values, so stick around for that. That should be coming out probably late within the next week. So stay tuned for that. Alright guys, I'm out of here. You all take care. Keep on hacking. Most importantly, please enjoy yourself. That's really what it's all about. You cheat the game, fellas, because believe me, it doesn't mind cheating you. You all take care now.